Look at my bees, and here I am collecting fruit for the jam.
She wants us to listen to her like she's a founder because she took all that money and launched her stupid-ass lifestyle brand with jam.
You can't get to be a billionaire selling pots of jam. All she does now with her jams that are crap is post pictures of her children left, right and centre, which has me always thinking, well, hold on a second, you duplicitous woman, how does that make any sense?
If Meghan wants to clean up her act, she's got some serious work to do, and not the kind with jam jars and mood boards.
This woman is a born manipulator. The Netflix thing, she doesn't do the work. She don't make the jams. It's all made for her.
And after the comedy of errors that was American Riviera Orchard and the ongoing chaos of Manic Meg's scam jam car crash as ever, perhaps caution is called for here.
Okay, buckle up, because this right here, it's wild. So while Meghan Markle floods Instagram with those filtered, picture-perfect snaps of jam jars and dreamy Montecito mornings, there's a behind-the-scenes reality that's downright jaw-dropping. Baby, that $20 million 0-cents dream home doesn't pay for itself, and fairy dust ain't covering the bills. That sprawling Montecito estate, staffed to the brim, from round-the-clock bodyguards to orchid pruning gardeners. None of them are working for hugs. Insiders ran the math, and honey, it's brutal. Meghan would have to sling around 3 million jars of her oh-so-luxurious American Riviera Orchard jam every single year just to break even. Not thrive, just keep that glittering fantasy running. The lifestyle she's flaunting is eating through cash like a royal banquet on steroids.
He's going to have to, old Meghan, sell 2.5 million pots of jam over the next year to make 15 million.
Now let's really get into the numbers. Each jar of jam sells for $14.00, but after you subtract the cost of fresh fruit, fancy glass packaging, that precious recycled ribbon, and a sprinkle of marketing magic, what's Meghan actually making? About $6.00 per jar. That's it. Multiply that by 3 million and surprise, it still doesn't cut it. One gourmet industry insider literally laughed, saying she'd need to run an industrial jam factory 24/7, have global distribution, and somehow keep it all cute and cottagecore. Not exactly the handmade with love aesthetic her promo videos push. Oh, and get this, the first drop barely made it past 1,000 jars. Yeah, talk about falling short.
Her imposter syndrome is adorable. I don't know who she's trying to convince. I'm probably us, since we talk about it pretty regularly.
But wait, it gets worse. While Meghan's jam biz tries to stay cute, that Montecito mansion is bleeding cash. Realtors whisper that her estate racks up around $100,000 0 cents per month just in mortgage payments. And that's before you even light a single lavender candle. Add in $1,600,000, 0 cents in property taxes, 4 ex-Secret Service agents rotating on 12-hour shifts at $1,000 0 cents a pop, and oh yes, a private chef who literally handpicks oranges from Ojai. The security bill alone? Over $3 million 0 cents a year. Let's not forget the 2 Montessori-trained nannies, gardeners who maintain Rose Labyrinths like a Disney fantasy, and a housekeeper who was once tipped with Cartier candles. Just payroll? It's floating near $250,000 0 cents every month. Sis, jam might buy brunch, but it ain't covering castle-level overhead. One neighbor even joked, she's running a champagne fountain on a lemonade budget, and the fountain's already overflowing.
There is growing concern about the fact that Prince Harry and Meghan Markle are now living well beyond their means, not being able to rake in those big money deals, and
we spent so much time making sure we had so much more inventory. That's why we took the time, and you guys are doing it again. We're nearly sold out on everything, and I can't believe it. Even flower sprinkles, which I knew was going to be the big one again, so that has more inventory than all of it. And that's also about to sell out. So I was looking at my iMessage and I thought, okay, I love this feature and I never thought of it. Like, is it confetti or is it flower sprinkles? Thanks, everybody.
And this, dear gossip lovers, is where the marketing starts to crumble. Introducing the infamous Mega Market, a pricing circus that leaves even luxury shoppers squinting. Her $12.00 hibiscus tea wholesales for less than $4. That $14.00 cookie mix, you could snag the same at Trader Joe's for $3. And that supposedly exclusive rosé wine, yeah, similar bottles retail for $7.00 at your local grocer. Critics say you're basically paying triple for some gauzy ribbons and a Pinterest-worthy story. That's it. First-time buyers might bite due to FOMO, but repeat customers, not when their bank account starts screaming. Plus, these boutique spreads, they've got a 9-month shelf life. Whatever doesn't sell comes boomeranging right back to Meghan's front door and eats away at that precious $6.00 margin. A Beverly Hills nutritionist even said, the real detox is watching your savings disappear with every sip. But as problematic as that all is, it pales in comparison to the royal monogram scandal about to explode.
I couldn't brand myself independently and live off taxpayer money. It felt like quite a big violation. I essentially had to be forever beholden to taxpayer, whoever he is.
It's not a financial thing. Working royals do not profit. They do not use their names to make money. It's an honor to have an HRH.
Absolutely.
So the fact that she's continued to use this HRH when they've been instructed not to, I think is absolutely infuriating in Buckingham Palace. It was agreed with Queen Elizabeth that they will not use the HRH title. That is a long-standing precedent, and there's good reason for it. Basically, the HRH is only given to working royals and senior members of the royal family.
So now the drama goes from kitchen table to royal courtroom vibes. One little ivory card tucked ever so gently into a jam gift basket just might cost Meghan her last sprinkle of royal glam. Lifestyle mogul Jamie Kleiman shared a sweet thank you post, and nobody really cared about the fruit spread. What had everyone's jaws on the floor were 3 shiny stitched initials, Archie and Lily, gleaming on that ribbon. Problem? Under the Sandringham exit agreement, those royal initials are strictly banned from being used for business. But there they were, turning a $14.00 jar into what basically looked like royal merch. And Prince William? Not just annoyed, fuming. Rumors say there's already a status clarification order sitting on his desk, just waiting for him to sign and strip those titles permanently. And with public opinion shifting toward trimming the royal fat, Meghan and Harry's royal sparkle could vanish like mist before her next lavender diffuser puff.
He fears that if Archie and Lilibet retain their HRH titles, their parents, their venal parents, will cash in on that.
If you're only releasing 10 jars of loose fruit every 2 months, it's gonna get so hard.
Inside the Archwell empire, things aren't much prettier. Spotify dumped their podcast deal after just one underwhelming season. Media mogul Bill Simmons called them grifters straight up, then shut the door on millions of future earners. Netflix, still in, but only after slashing budgets and demanding rewrites. Each new project, more lawyers, more consultants, and a revolving door of PR agencies. 3 in 12 months to be exact. Each agency left with a 6-figure bill and a politely exhausted goodbye memo. Internally, employees are now calling themselves the Sussex Survivors Club, watching money bleed faster than jam from a cracked jar. Insiders whisper that their monthly burn rate is double their income, propped up only by Harry's memoir advance and what's left of his inheritance. One junior producer described board meetings as emotional triage. Everyone sees the problem, but no one's grabbing a tourniquet. And now, the IRS is warming up with scalpels in hand.
I do think it takes a little bit of courage to bet on yourself, and that's felt really good.
Oh yes, my proudest decision has been pumping all of my husband's inheritance money into my flop business. I found that hilarious.
If you buy it direct from them, it's like $4. So she's ripping people off. He puts 5 pots of jam on sale and goes, "We've sold out! We've sold out!"
Just when you think it couldn't spiral further, here comes the IRS with what might be a financial torpedo. Forensic accountants have started whispering about blurred lines between Archwell's nonprofit charity side and Meghan's boutique brand Goodies. Tea, jam rose tea, all possibly sitting under the same ledger. Sounds harmless until an auditor comes knocking. If that jam cash is sliding through the charity's pipeline without crystal clear separation, the fines could snowball into oblivion. One tax consultant said even a single audit letter could trigger months of financial hell. Sifting through Slack chats, vision boards, invoices, emails. Picture Harry having to explain why royal initials showed up on jam jars heading overseas. And guess what? Donors despise uncertainty. Even a whiff of shady tax behavior sends them running for the hills. Without them, that $6.00 jar margin means nothing.
Sir, your millions from Netflix for no one knows what.
Put it with the rest of them.
And oh honey, this is where the claws come out. Public opinion, it's crashing harder than a budget flight. In the UK, monarchists who once rolled their eyes now gleefully trade memes comparing Meghan's $14.00 jam to grandma's supermarket marmalade. The punchline? Sunshine in a jar apparently costs triple in California. And across the pond, late night hosts are having a field day, poking fun at limited edition sprinkles and overpriced pantry props. Social media? A blaze of angry red as fans question the value behind those boutique price tags. And it's not just online shade. One dip in Nielsen engagement ratings and sponsors are already tiptoeing out the back. One beauty brand is rumored to be rethinking its alignment entirely. The timing, brutal. With the economy shaky, Meghan's luxury parade is looking increasingly tone deaf. The experts warn that once consumer trust cracks, it's almost impossible to glue back together. And if those Instagram hearts stop beating, the curiosity that fuels Meghan's brand may disappear overnight. But as bad as this all sounds, it's what's coming next that might be the final knockout.
William is reportedly formulating a plan to finally strip Prince Harry and Meghan Markle of their HRH title.
Ready for the royal hammer? Because it's hovering. Sources inside the palace say you can practically hear the tension crackle in the air. Prince William, the picture of restraint, reportedly keeps a slim file labeled status clarification right on his desk. One flick of that royal pen and poof. Archie and Lilibet's HRH titles are gone from every registry, gift ribbon, and boutique label. And guess what, Britons? Cheering for it in droves. Even royal stalwarts Princess Anne, Prince Edward, and Camilla are reportedly in quiet agreement. The initials are sacred, not for sale. Constitutional scholars confirm only the monarch can strip those styles. So whether it's King Charles growing weary or William eventually stepping up, that signature could fall at any moment. And when it does, that sleek branding Meghan's built collapses into chaos. Overnight, jars, sachets, and cookie kits bearing royal symbols become unusable merchandise. Retailers hate confusion, investors hate recalls, and Meghan's jam brand may just evaporate in a lavender-scented puff. But even that's not the biggest hit.
What is she talking about? What is that all about? Flower sprinkles? They're not gonna sell out unless you're only selling 7 sprinkles.
Then came the financial avalanche when Archewell's board finally sat down and did the math. It wasn't headlines, it was panic. A crisis meeting was held, the so-called Come to Jesus Summit, and the CFO didn't sugarcoat a thing. Jam sales were covering 1 week of payroll. 1 week. Investors were shook. Some literally logged off the Zoom before the tax exposure slide popped up. Days later, that Culver City office went from startup chic to cardboard box city. Kombucha tabs replaced by shipping tape. The private chef, gone. The resilience coach, hired to help employees breathe through stress, vanished. Oh, and Harry's beloved polo outings, postponed indefinitely. Translation, even charging the Range Rover isn't in the budget anymore. Meanwhile, suppliers smell blood. They're demanding deposits up front, and whispers of a freeze on all new product development have halted her peach basil jam in its tracks. But the final chapter in this chaos parade, that's the one that hits hardest.
Fantasy. I think she's lost in her own world. Look at my bees, and here I am collecting fruit for the jam.
And now the moment of truth. One signature could undo everything. Picture it, a royal crier gliding past the Montecito gates at dawn, parchment in hand. A decree that strips the HRH titles from Archie and Lilibet in a blink. Instantly, retail partners back out, influencers delete links, and the IRS, already circling, swoops in with a fresh grip. And here's the kicker. Without that royal glam, the whole brand loses its sparkle. It's no longer artisanal prestige. It's just overpriced jam. One insider even said, without the royal mystique, it's literally just fruit mush in a fancy jar. Creditors, they're not laughing. They're accelerating payment terms. One friendly bank even quietly filed a lien on the Montecito estate, hedging their bets before things get worse. Harry's now eyeing a return to the polo scene scene, hoping a rich buddy might fund a new docuseries, and Meghan dialing every talk show booker from New York to LA, offering an exclusive tell-all if the check clears first. This fairy tale balloon, it's skimming treetops now, and the passengers, they're feeling the branches scrape the basket. But wait for it, because there's one final devastating twist. So here we are. After all the gourmet spreads, luxury nannies, and lavender-infused drama, the survival plan for the Sussex brand comes down to a single decision. A moment as delicate as a macaron balancing on the edge of a teacup. They've got two options: scale back and rebuild, ditch the royal glitter, go authentic, and create something truly grounded. Or double down on the curated fantasy, hope the headlines stay hot, and PR their way into the next quarter. Insiders whisper that the next 30 days will decide everything. Will an investor throw them a lifeline? Or will the Montecito Gates end up in a realtor's brochure? Another celebrity retreat swallowed by bad math and bigger dreams? Because baby, one thing's for sure, this $20 million 0 cents lifestyle, it's got an allergy to reality. And those 3 million jam jars, still nothing more than a fantasy, light years away. So now it's your turn. Shrewd reinvention or dramatic train wreck? Was this the royal glow-up gone bust, or is there one last twist in the jar? Smash that subscribe if you're still with us, and tell us in the comments, how does this fairy tale end?